Welcome back. We are here with Alex from InsideOut Inspections. Alex, how are you doing today?
Great. How about you, Easton?
I'm doing good. It's glad to be chatting with you. You guys have great service. So, uh, Inside Out has been around for 11 years. How did all of this start?
Ooh, that's a good question. So it started back 2012-ish, an idea. I had a big boy job at a big boy corporation, and I didn't like it. So I came back from that job out in Kalamazoo to here, and my dad and I were like, my mom were like, hey, why don't we start doing home inspections? I'm like, well, sure, why not? Let's try it. And yeah, an idea turned into what we have today. So yeah, it's just it was funny how it happened, but it was kind of an easy transition for what we my dad's been doing for his whole life into moving it over to the inspection side. So
Yeah. And when you go like inspect a home, like what's the most important thing that you guys look for?
the biggest thing for us is we're there for the buyer. Okay, we're not there for anybody else. So we're there for the interest of the buyer, and we're trying to help them in the process of purchasing a home. All right, so we're just trying to help them make an educated decision on larger ticket items on the home, as far as like a roof or a structural issue or mechanical problems,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah. And I think it's very interesting because I feel like a lot of buyers, they get very antsy and like they get very excited. And like if you have a buyer and they get that inspection report back and they are antsy, like what do you tell them?
so yeah, it's overwhelming when you get a
Yeah.
report back, because the reports are anywhere from 50 to 70 to one today was 100
Yeah.
pages.
Oh
So
crap.
they're overwhelming, and you kind of just gotta you kind of just walk through it with them. A lot of it's just informational,
Yeah.
so that's the hardest part to get through to them. It's like, hey, it's 60 pages long, but 45 of it is just information, helping you with the process of your house, maintenance of your house, so on and so forth. The other 10 to 15 pages are actual findings
Yeah.
of what we found. And so getting people to actually read the whole report, that's the important part.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people only look at the cover page, look at the summary page, and then make decisions based off that instead of actually glossing through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I mean it's a lot.
it
Like
is.
there's a lot that they have to look through and they're like, oh my gosh. And I feel like, when they're going through it, they don't really know what to look for. They're like, I'm kind of confused. I don't really know what to expect when
Yeah,
doing it.
and the biggest thing for us is if people would. That's why we encourage buyers to be at the inspection too,
Yeah.
because if you're there, I get to be able to give you firsthand knowledge of what we find instead of you getting a report, 6 8 hours later, and you look at it and like, what is this big novel full
Yeah.
of nothing that I have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
Then they call and ask 1,000 questions, and sometimes stuff gets distorted from the phone call to actually what happened. So it's just from start to finish. It's just communication is the biggest thing. So if we're able to thoroughly explain our findings, and that portrays in the report just the way we speak it to them, then it makes it easier for all parties involved.
Yeah. And for like the home sellers that are having you guys come in,
Mm-hmm.
what is one like easy thing that they can prevent or fix?
Let's see. The probably the number one thing, or not number one, but a lot of things we find, furnace filters.
Yeah.
They're either installed backwards, or they're dirty, or missing, stuff like that. And the easiest thing for us, I know it's not something the seller usually wants, but accessibility.
Yeah.
If we can have access to everything we're looking at, because we don't like to go back twice. Nobody does.
No.
It just creates a headache for all parties involved. So accessibility is one thing that helps us get the process going smoother. But yeah, it's funny, just small stuff like furnace filters that people don't think about, and just regular maintenance on your house that people don't do. That goes a long way in the inspection process, because you inspect a cleaner house, usually people get a better feeling about it
Yes.
comparative to we go into a house that hasn't been touched or cleaned, and you wipe the counter and there's 3 pounds of dust on your
Yeah.
finger. People think, well, they haven't been taking care of their house. Take care of this. How about the rest of the house? What you can't see. So it's just regular maintenance. It's the biggest thing in your house for a
And
seller.
and what differentiates Inside Out versus other inspection companies?
A couple things for us. So We're different in the manner that we bring out 2 guys for inspections or more. Like this morning's inspection, we took 5 of us
Holy
because
crap!
it was
Okay.
11,000 square feet.
Okay.
So a bigger house like that, we take more because we don't want to take up, back to the seller. We don't want to be displace you out of your house for 4 to 6 hours,
Yeah.
like some of these, like some other companies do. We're in and out usually within hour, hour and a half. Even today, the big one we did was only like 2.5.
Nice.
So we're able to, the speed of the process, the easiness of the process too. We're a one-stop shop. We offer every single service that you can have for a home inspection, via ancillary services, whether
Yeah.
it's a septic, a well, a radon, any kind of water testing. We take care of all that kind of stuff. And we have online scheduling. So we make it a very easy process. We take care of, accessibility to houses. You guys don't, realtors don't take care of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, we kind of streamlined the whole process over the last 10 years to make it very simple for realtors.
And did you guys start out by offering like all those services?
No, no. So our first inspection my dad and I ever did was, it's just like, okay, we're going to do an inspection. What are we supposed to do? We
Yeah.
had no idea. And so from the first one all the way to now, it's been a huge journey for us. But like, we started off just offering the regular inspection. Then we started offering pest inspections. Then we added on radon stuff. Then we added on water testing. Then we added on, we used to sub out a lot of the stuff. Like we'd sub out septic inspections,
Yeah.
sub out well inspections. And gradually we just turned everything to in-house. So now all of our guys are certified to do septic inspections. So we can do our own well inspections. Our water testing gets shipped out, but we do all the water testing. We handle it all ourselves. So we've just gradually added on things and things and things, stuff that makes the process and the process easier for the buyer. It gives them more avenues instead of having to call this person and this person
Yeah.
and this person. And the sewer scope thing we added on, that was a huge one for us, adding sewer scopes. We got a bunch of sewer cameras now, so it just makes it easier for everybody to only have to call one person instead of having to call
For sure.
6 or 7 to get this, to get to the same endpoint.
And throughout that 11-year journey, what is the most interesting thing that you've learned?
Most interesting thing I've learned, I would have to say that there has probably the most interesting thing. There has not been a single house that's been the same, and that's the part I like with the job.
Yeah.
That's why my guys like it too, because it's not repetitive.
Yeah.
It is in a sense you're looking at the same kind of stuff, but you're never going to see the same house twice. I mean, we do sometimes, but
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not going to see the same house. You're not going to see the same thing over and over and over again every day. So, I guess as far as call that interesting for me because it's nice. It's fun. That's the fun part for me is I get to take ideas from houses I see, implement them into my house or
Yeah.
my stuff like that. So.
And Inside Out is also a family-ran business. Did this have an impact on your relationships outside of the business?
I would say no, because we've been a really tight knit family, my entire life, and I would actually say it maybe even brought us closer in the fact that we do a lot of family vacations together. We go up north to our lake house together all the time, every weekend, snowmobiling, whether it's in the wintertime snowmobiling or summertime just going on the lake and chilling and whatever. I would say it actually probably brought us a little closer together, which is kind of rare for most family-owned businesses.
For sure.
But we get along very well, so kind of blessed in that part.
And for like the relationships in general, like how was it? Like, did your dad pull you aside and say, "Hey, Alex, come do this business with me," or was it more like you guys doing it together?
Well, so when I came back, my brother had been working with my dad on the construction company already since he got out of high school. So my brother was already employed here as well. But then we got back, or I got back, and my dad and my mom were like, "Hey," with my brother, we're like, "Hey, let's do this. Let's try and do this inspection thing." And then, after 3 or 4 years of it just starting to ramp uphill, then my brother joined, and he helped really get the processes in line, and he streamlined all the software we have for it, and that helped us take off even more. And then, once my sister graduated college, she came in and she helped my mom take care of all the books.
Yeah.
So it's been, everybody just kind of fell into a place that's worked out pretty good for them.
That's awesome. I have two more
Yeah.
questions. What is one characteristic or quality of yourself that you are most proud of?
One character is I'm most proud of. I would say my punctuation and discipline. I'm very disciplined too. Like I'm a big. I go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
I'm a 5 o'clock wake up guy.
Dang.
5 o'clock wake up, gym 5:30, 5:30, 5:45. I'm usually here. I have a kid now, so it makes it a little different. I used to try to get here earlier. Like my dad's here; he's always here first thing in the morning. But I can't do that because I have to help get the kid ready.
Yeah.
To come, either I bring him here, he's going to his, my grandma's house, whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty punctual person. I don't like being late.
Yeah.
I'm always on time, unless something happens, obviously. But I'm usually very punctual for that kind of stuff and discipline. And it's gotten better. Kind of got a little lax
Yeah.
once the business got grown up to a point where it felt like it was on autopilot and I didn't have to do much. Well, that's when you start to relax and when you start to lose it.
Yeah.
So it's been nice the last couple of years. I've kind of caught myself and realigned my discipline to where it should be.
I like that. I have one more question. If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
The past isn't dead.
Yes.
The present would probably be. Actually, I know it'd be Tiger Woods.
Why?
I'm a big golf guy. I love golf. I play it as much as I can. He's been my favorite athlete since day one. And just the way he carries his professional sports life, it's amazing how driven he was and still is. And I really, that's why he's my favorite athlete. It's from the past. Man, that's a really good question. Probably. Yeah, I don't even know. That's a hard one.
First person that comes to mind.
Probably if I could, I'd do it both. How about both my grandpas?
I like
Do it
that.
way. My mom's dad just passed away recently. My dad's dad died a long time ago, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. So I would hate to go back and have one more dinner with those two.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions I have. How can people find you guys, and what is like one like last thing that you want to say to people?
Yeah, so how you can find us is pretty easy. Facebook, Instagram, Google. You can look, Google, we have over 1,000 Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews, so you can find us on there. We're on TikTok as well.
Nice.
You can pretty much find us on pretty much any social media platform. As well as you can find us here at 8314 Whiteford Center Road in Ottawa Lake, where our main office is. But as for a closing point, just, the biggest thing for me being in this industry for so long now is the importance of the home inspection. We went through a time through COVID where everybody was passing inspections and not getting them, and just because they thought it'd make their offer feel better. Well, it probably does, but it's only hurting you.
Yeah.
It's not allowing you the opportunity to understand, what your house is all about. And that's what we try to do is we try to educate people about their purchase. And I could give you some horror stories on people that passed their inspection and have called back, but we could go on for days for that.
Yeah.
So just do your due diligence. Especially it's the biggest purchase of your life. You're spending anywhere from $100,000 to 3, 4, 5, 10 million. So no matter how much you're spending, whether it's 100,000 or 10 million, you be diligent and take care of your own investment and get yourself an inspection.
Awesome. Well, Alex, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.